Everyone. It is Michelle Stone with Michelle Stone Masterpieces. Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. Um, yeah, I'm an artist, an art teacher, a art curator here in Tampa, Florida, and a therapeutic art life coach. And so I'm here today because I'm working on doing I accepted the 100-day challenge that started on January 31st, and today is February 25th. And so I'm actually working on number 24. I've had a couple of little overwhelming days and wasn't able to miss a couple, but that's okay because, progress, not perfection, right? So, so I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the emotional color wheels. And I do a lot of different things on this channel. I do the therapeutic art is a way to express yourself through art and kind of add like a therapy aspect to it. There is a difference between art therapy and therapeutic art. Just and so this is kind of what I do. Um, so the emotional color wheels are something that when you add color to an emotion and you write it down, your mind and your body actually acknowledges it. And so if you have emotions and you don't talk about them or you don't acknowledge them, or you're like, oh no, I'm not supposed to have emotions, that's you know don't do that, oh, that kind of thing. It actually lodges in your body, and then eventually it turns into, like it's kind of like layers of stuff, right? Layers and layers and layers. And what happens is they turn into, they have to do something. So they turn into sometimes a sickness, sometimes just, it really kind of depends on what the person is and what their life experience is, and their body style. And it's just a whole number of things. But if you want to, just make sure that you you feel your emotions and you kind of get rid of, it's kind of like equal to that glass of wine that you have at the end of the day, but instead of drinking them away, you're actually expressing them. And so it's another way. I personally think it's a healthier way to express yourself, and to learn more about yourself, and to acknowledge what's going on in your life. And also it helps with memory. It helps with tuning into your body. It helps with emotional literacy. It helps with in doing something like this. There's happiness chemicals that happen in your brain when you do certain things. And so when you complete a task, which is what you could do with this, and your brain gets a dopamine hit. When you do a self-care activity, which is also what this is, your brain will get a dopamine hit. When you meditate, which is also what this is a form of, you'll get some serotonin, which is like a mood chemical in your brain, and so you'll get that as well. So they're all good things, and it's relatively easy. You can grab a couple of things that will help you make a circle. I've got this little container. It's a container top for an Ovaltine container, and then I've got this basically duct tape. So I'm going to use that as my two circles. I have a ruler, regular pencil, and then I have a whole bunch of other colored pencils. So we're going to get to it, and just go ahead and grab yourself a piece of paper. And if you want to put me on hold, and while you're doing all of that, grab those supplies, and then we will get right to it. All right, ready? Here we go. All right, so this is my I'm gonna take my computer out of the way. Sorry about that. And so here is my paper, and here's my my little circle. So I'm gonna go around the top of it. You can tell this is what I use because it's all dark right there. So I have that. This doubles for my shavings when I need to do that. So there's my center. So I'm gonna come here and do this. So now I have a circle within a circle. I'm going to come up here and do a vertical line. And then I'm going to do a horizontal line, just a little bit past, right? And then here I'm actually going to put 4 of my core feelings. So we're going to explore a little bit of those today. I've been typically doing the ones from Martinez. And I actually ran out of pages on my other book. So this is a different book that I'm going to use. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to actually go back through my feelings in my other book and see what the common feelings are. And so instead of going back to honor, loyalty, commitment, and love, we're going to explore a little bit today. So if I look at this and I think about I have curious on here a lot. So I'm going to do my 4 squares here, which will represent the ones in the center. And then here I'm going to do additional squares here. So I'm still going to do the 12. So these 2 go to this one, these 2 go to this one and this one go here, and then these 2 are going to go to this bottom one. So curious is one that I've had over the last 2 days. Actually, the last 3 days. All right. So I'm going to put curious and see if I can put that in one of here. Then I'm going to look through and see what else I come across. Let's see. So, reassured, consideration, delighted, intention, curiosity, tender, accepting, grateful, confident. I've seen in here a couple of times. I'm just kind of thinking devotion. Like, what was my core feelings today? Definitely curious. That does make sense. And so if I think about my day, I spent some time. Confident could be one of them, and confident actually does go back to being like honoring myself. So all right, so I'm going to do curious here. I'm going to do honor here, and then put confident. What I'm doing is if you've been following the last ones, I'm trying to really hone in on not necessarily go with Mario Martinez, honor, commitment, and loyalty, but hone in and think, okay, what was my day like? And if I think about, okay, so what feelings did I have? I did feel confident today. Absolutely. There were plenty of moments that I felt really confident. And then in regards to that, what else did I feel? I felt honored, yes. I felt determined. And so in that determination, and determined is something that keeps showing up anyway. Yeah. So determination, I'm going to put that down here because that feels like it goes with a different word, not necessarily honor, but and if I were to go back to and even lean into what would those core feelings be, would that determination go back to loyalty or would it go back to commitment? Inside of me right now, as I'm feeling, it feels more like loyalty. Yeah, it does feel more like loyalty. Okay. And then what else did I feel? If I think about my day, I was at the gallery and I had a tour with a homeschool group, and I also had another tour later on. I reached out to a couple of different artists to talk to them about their shows and different things that were going on. I also had a couple of Zoom calls with fellow, um, just, professional friends of mine, and just thinking about brainstorming about different things. So would that be, I think that would actually be commitment to me and who I am and to them. And I'm gonna put commitment. So, and does curious, and I'm just kind of doing this live with you right now. So does this curious, would that be part of my honor, my loyalty, and my commitment? I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to think about that for a minute as I kind of go down. So now that I know that I do have honor, I do have loyalty, and I do have commitment, just like leaning more into them, what way and what other ways did I honor myself and I honor those around me? And so um, I was peaceful. I was at ease. How about at ease? At ease. And then for my loyalty, where I was determined, I was creative as we were brainstorming. And so then my commitment, what would that look like? And my commitment was I was grateful. Yeah. And what else was I? I was kind. Okay. And then for curious, what was actually, if curious was one of my cores, then that would be, then my creative would be up here. But would it be, would it be, would it be, would it be courageous? If I was curious, was I could be. Yep. And then what else would I be? Energetic, optimistic, thrilled, ecstatic, interested. Yeah, okay. Okay. So there we go. We're going to start off with that. So, okay, so curious is going to go here. And then I have courageous and interested. And then I'm going to put honor here. And then confident. And then at ease. Awesome. And then loyalty here. And then here would be determined. And then creative. Commitment. Grateful. And then kind. Awesome. Okay. So now I'm going to come in and here are my colors. So what do we got? So I like to spread them out so I can see like all the colors. So curious. And again, if you're brand new to my channel, so curious. So now that I know what colors what words I'm thinking of and what feelings I felt from earlier. Excuse me. I'm looking at and curious, this color keeps jumping out at me like it's the brightest color for this particular. Oops, let me bring it down a little bit so you guys can see better. Okay, so I've got that. And then curious, if I were to stay in my feeling of curious, I could go to courageous. What feels like courageous to me? This guy right here, and this is lake red. All right, so I'm going to sharpen this. Courageous feels like, yep, feels like that. And then interested. What color does interested feel like? No, what color is interested? Maybe this purple. Yeah. Okay, and then honor. Honor feels, and you know, sometimes your colors, honor feels like this. Sometimes your colors are going to stay the same, and sometimes they are not. And whatever you choose is perfectly okay for that moment. Confident. Confident feels like this magenta right here. And then at ease. What does at ease feel like? And you know, sometimes if you're looking at your colored pencils and you're like, oh, it's not jumping out at me, just take a deep breath. You close your eyes and you can kind of, if you squint a little bit, you kind of, what we're doing is essentially we're looking for the color that either like seems brighter for that particular moment, or the one that I don't know, that it says, you know, choose me. That there's different people have like different things that happen, but it's it's a combination of things, or it could be, you know, just that it feels brighter. So if I'm thinking about the phrase at ease, this light gray actually feels at ease. Yep. All right, so now I'm going to go to loyalty. Loyalty feels like this light blue. Yep. And then determined feels like this dark blue. And then creative. Creative feels like this pink here. Okay. Sorry, I dropped it real quick. And then commitment. This dark purple. There we go. And grateful feels like this orange. And kind feels like this pink. Okay, are we ready? All right, if you're not ready at this point, go ahead and put me on pause and go ahead and do yours. And then I'm just gonna, and then just kind of come back. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna fill in the outer part of my curious. And so sometimes I stay inside the little spaces. Sometimes I don't. Kind of depends. What one of the things that happens with me is that if I feel like if I color this space and then I kind of like think about and feel inside, would it be bigger? Does it need to be bigger? Does it need to? And if it does, then I'll go outside the lines. If it doesn't, then I'm all right with just doing these inner ones. And then I put the ones that I've already used off to the side. So then courageous is this red. And so I'm going to come in here, this lake red, and I'm just, instead of sharpening my pencil again, I'm just going to kind of come back in and do this. There we go. Courageous. Okay. And then I have interested. You know, because when you're curious, you're interested about something. And so this level of interest actually feels big. It feels bigger than the space. There we go. So there's interested. Okay. I'm going to come over here to honor. So there we go. There's that. And then we've got confident. Confident feels big too. Actually, it feels, there we go. There's a part of me that's, even as I'm doing this, is like, wait, hold back on the confidence. Like, no, can't be too confident. And then I'm like, you know what? Just because I can feel it and I can actually be it, and that's okay. And you know what? I'm going to actually change my grip and go like this, because the more that I'm allowing myself, and here's one of those things that, like, if you suppress your feelings, remember what I was saying earlier, you suppress these feelings and they lodge in your body. And I don't want to suppress the fact that I'm confident about certain things. I'm all right with it. So yeah, there we go. See, just that little bit, you just watched me process that. So at ease. So being at ease in certain situations is a blessing. And so just thinking about the more that I'm in my body, the more that I accept who I am, the better off I am. The more I'm allowed to grow emotionally and psychologically and mentally and all of that kind of stuff. So, all right. So loyalty. Loyalty to myself and to my work and to my place in the world. And my loyalty today feels pretty big. Feels, yep. And it feels even bigger than that. You know what? I'm going to go a little bit bigger. I'm going to step into this other space of determined and creative because my loyalty feels that much bigger. But the good thing is that I have these lines and that, and I can just follow through with the other colors that I have. So there's my loyalty. Now I'm going to come into determined. And I spend a lot of time in this space of determination. I really do. And it's a deliberate thing. And once, you know, when I really started stepping into being determined, it was a conscious thing. And now that the more that I'm there, it's like I have this phrase, you know, what you think about, you bring about. And the more that you think about it, the more that you focus on it, the more that it turns into like who you are, like a characteristic. So that's what's happened with me with determined. And so anyway, and so now I'm looking at creative, and I live my life being creative. That's just who I am and how I am. I'm very much a visionary. If I hear people, see people, have conversations, I typically, if it's a brainstorming session, I typically Yeah, the majority of the time, either if I'm not getting a visual of the end product, then and I will soon get it. So there's that. Okay. And commitment. Let me sharpen my pencil one more time. So yeah, so I've got commitment here. And so commitment feels a lot like determination, but um, it's a little bit different. You know, commitment is to stay focused on one thing, or determination is determined that you're going to follow through, that it's going to happen. So, and those are definitely not Google's definitions of them. They're my definitions of them. So, um, don't be asking Alexa, Alexa, what's the definition of determined? Anyway, so there we go. There's that. Grateful. You know, the attitude of gratitude helps in every aspect of life. And so if you're in a space right now and you want things to kind of turn around, start thinking about what you love in your life, what you're grateful for, because there's always something. And even if you start off with my breath or your breath, and the fact that you have a body, that you are still alive, just even with that you have clothes on your back, um, regardless of what those clothes look like. You know, the attitude of gratitude definitely helps. And then stepping into kindness. You know, I often see a sign that says, if you can be anything in this world, be kind. I think we're in the middle, we're like, almost a year into COVID worldwide. And actually we hadn't shut down yet. And so there's a lot of people out there that are frustrated, a lot of people who are looking for the end product, waiting to, like, you know, get out of their house and go places. I know there's one woman that I know I meet with weekly, that she goes to the grocery store every Tuesday, and she comes home, and that's been her life for the last year. And this is a woman who has traveled all over the world. And so, and she's still kind, still considerate and everything, but often she tells me about stories about people who are not. And that's unfortunate because, she only goes outside once a week. Anyway, so this is my emotional color wheel for today. It is number 24. And if you like what I'm doing, if you like this process, please feel free to leave a note, in the comment section. I look forward to reading them. And if you are interested in more of what I'm doing, then please feel free to subscribe. Press that subscribe button, and then there's also a little bell under there. So every time you hit the bell, you will be able to get more. You'll be notified every time I send a video out. So thank you so much for being on my channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow. And remember, color the residue of your day away. Thanks so much. Bye.